Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you so much. Would like to thank you all for dedicating some of your time to attend the meeting. And I'm really pleased and happy to be with you with such a bunch of true teachers, because as you know, teachers in the Arabic culture, they come next to prophets. And but not all teachers know that they have to act like this. I have witnessed some teachers recently very happy, and they feel that they are on vacation now. They don't have to do anything. They don't have to go to school or to worry about students, blah, blah, blah. But true teachers know that they are responsible for their students. They have to do their best to support and help. And I'm sure that you are some of these teachers, because you are here now. I would also like to thank Dr. Hala and Anab Academy for giving us the chance to meet and to share our experiences. So I hope that you, inshallah, you will find the meeting worth spending your time and useful, inshallah. Dr. Hala, everybody, can you see the screen, the presentation?
Yes, it's very clear.
Okay, all right, thank you so much. Our meeting today is about virtual classrooms, and it's going to revolve around three main questions. Some of the questions will take more time than the other ones, but the questions are why virtual classes, what do we need to apply or to administer virtual classrooms, and how to administer them. So let's quickly start with why. The first question is why. A question to answer. Why virtual classes? In fact, I think that the recent events that happened, it changed our concept of online support that we need to provide our students with. So before March 2020, we used to think of virtual classes in a different way. So are virtual classes a need or a must or a luxury? What do you think before 2020 or before March 2020, to be specific, the time when we just had to shut schools temporarily to stop the outspread of the coronavirus? How did we used to think of virtual classes or online support that we have to provide our students with? Did we look at it as a luxury, need, or a must? Can you just provide me with answers quickly in the chat? I need to see some answers. Okay, all right. Mr. Balo, I think it's a must. Okay, it's a must now, but the question is, before March 2020, did we think of it as a must or a luxury? All right, okay, so, all right, very good, excellent. So Dr. Hala or Ms. Hala, a luxury, most of you say luxury, yes. In fact, and still it's a point of view that before March 2020, most of educators, teachers, schools, and people who are involved in the education sector, we looked at online classes or virtual classes or online support that we need to provide our students with as a luxury. Most schools wanted to have their own platforms just to gain some fame and to get more customers. But in fact, very few schools adapted their teachers to the blended learning approach or attitude. So very few teachers were ready for the time when we had to use online teaching or online support in our current situation, because it's a need. In fact, now we need to use online classes or virtual classes, or support our students with online material or chances to learn. And very few teachers, unfortunately, are ready for this, because we missed a lot of time. We didn't take it seriously, or we were behind all the time. Do you agree with me that we were not ready enough? We were we didn't expect the unexpected, which is in fact very important for us as educators. We have to get ready. We have to expect the unexpected to happen, right? Okay, so mostly agree. Most attendees agree with this point of view. We lost a lot of time. We were not prepared enough for this tight corner that we had to stay in. But now we are just trying to make up for the time that we have missed. We're trying to do our best. Yeah, okay. So most of you agree that we must miss some time, and but it's still not too late. I mean, it's not too late, and we have a chance to catch up with what we have missed. So I think that in the future, we have to look at blended learning. Even when schools are back, we have to look at it as a must. We must get ready. Students must get ready. We have to use some time, dedicate some time to online tuition, online classes, virtual classes, so that we are ready. We know what we have to do and how to do it. And also students are ready for such a time that we have to count on online or virtual classes 100%. All right. Okay, so this was the question, why? Why virtual classes? It's very brief, because in fact we need to focus on the second questions, what and how. In order for us to administer virtual classes or run virtual classes, we need two main devices or tools. We need a communication tool, a teaching learning tool that allows teachers to get in touch with students and talk to them, communicate with them, let students interact amongst each other and also with their teachers. In this presentation is going to be Zoom, all right? Of course, I know that there are other tools and devices, and even teachers are using some devices like Telegram and WhatsApp, but Zoom, after you finish this presentation, you will know why Zoom is much better than the other applications. So in this presentation, we will study, or maybe we will explore Zoom as a tool that allows teachers to communicate students and even students to interact with each other, so that there is a kind of teaching and learning experience, live teaching and learning experience, similar to the classes. And also we need a learning management system, briefly referred to as LMS, an LMS, learning management system. And in this, inshallah, this meeting is going to be Google Classrooms in this presentation. I know that most of you belong to schools, but I'm going to adapt the presentation to free, to free presentations, so that all teachers can benefit from it. Okay, so we are going to explore two applications or two tools or devices for this meeting, which are Zoom and Google Classrooms. And we are going to move in, in the same order. We are going to go to Zoom first. After that, we will go to Google Classrooms. Let's go to Zoom. The first question is how to create Zoom account. I know that it's easy for you. I haven't received any, new questions or questions that you need to answer. All of them will be, inshallah, will be covered in the presentation. The first question is how to here is how to have an account on Zoom. Of course, you know Zoom.us, and also you can download the application from Google Play, from App Store, and okay. All right. Nina, I'm going to answer your question, but after we just finish this. So we can go to zoom.us, or we can just download the application from Google Play or App Store, and you know this very well. And after that, when you go to zoom.us, we just click on my account, so that after you sign in, you go to my account so that you can access your account on Zoom. All right. Now, after you access your account, you have to go to meetings. This is how to schedule, inshallah, how to schedule a new meeting, and also how to run a new meeting. I'm going to send you a video on how to run the meeting, but now we will start with how to schedule a meeting. This is your home page. This is how your home page looks like. It will look like this. It will look like this. It will have some links to meetings, webinars, recordings, settings, profile, and reports. Or we need to schedule a new meeting. You just click on this, schedule a new meeting. And after you click on it, you just give it a name or a topic, so that the attendees know exactly what they are going to be exposed to, what they are going to learn, and also a brief description under this main title or topic. You have also to give some brief description of the meeting, the content of the meeting, blah, blah, blah. And also time, when means the date of the meeting or the webinar, and the starting time, when it's going to start, whether it's AM or PM, and the duration. And let me tell you something about duration. In fact, for free account on Zoom, the maximum time allowed for free account users is only 40 minutes. So unfortunately, you cannot create a meeting for more than 40 minutes. So how can we handle this? If you are going to continue for more than 40 minutes, it's very simple. You can just start the meeting, continue for 40 minutes, give a break to your students, yourself for 10 minutes, for example, and tell them to reconnect again, and you start again. But to do this, you have to create a recurring meeting. A recurring meeting, it means that it's a meeting that you can start again and again and again. No problem to start it for frequent, many times. So make sure that you check this recurring meeting. Let me just go to Zoom now, zoom.us, and let's create a new meeting together so that we know exactly how it works. Can you see the Zoom account? Can you see the screen, the Zoom screen? Please tell me on the chat that you can see the Zoom. Okay. So all you need to do is to just sign in. I already have an account, so you can sign in. And when you need to sign in, you can, as you see, you can use your email password, or you can also sign using a Google account or Facebook account. All right, I linked this to my Google account, so I will choose the first one. As you see, this is the home page. All right, you have upcoming meetings, you have previous meetings. If you want to access one of the meetings that you had before, personal meeting room, which gives you some details about the room, the number, blah, blah, and also meeting templates if you have a template, specific template for your meetings. All we need to do is to go to upcoming meetings. I already have two ready to start now. I'm not going to start them. I'm going to schedule a new meeting. As we said, just give it a name. Let's say yes, Ms. Hala, all meetings are recorded. If you go to recordings, and we are going to cover this, if you go to recordings and if the old meetings are recorded, and when you record them to the Zoom cloud, you will find them here. But if you choose to record them to the computer, you will not find them here. Okay? So quickly, we will go to the meeting, and let's say here it's a virtual classes, the second meeting, for example, and the description is you will learn how to use Zoom and Google Classrooms, right? So this was the title or the topic and the description. And let's choose here a day. Let's say it will be on the 30th of March at 5:00 p.m. and it will last for one hour, 2 hours, blah, blah, blah. Look here, please. If you check recurring meetings, it will tell you to decide whether the recurrence will be on daily basis, weekly, monthly, or no fixed time. As for me, I usually choose this, no fixed time, because it's free. It's freer for you to start the meeting at any time that you want to start, away from days and months, blah, blah, blah. So you are free. It gives you freedom to start the meeting at any time. So recurrence means the time that, or the base that's going to be forward when the meeting is going to be repeated. When you choose daily, you have to decide the day and the end date after how many occurrences. If you choose monthly or weekly, it will tell you to decide which days of the week. Monthly, the same thing. So go for this. No fixed time is much better than any other option. The meeting ID will be generated automatically by default. If you want to secure the meeting, to make it very secure, just use personal meeting ID. This is more secure, all right? And require meeting password. If you want to make it easier for students to access, you can just remove this option. It's checked by default. So the default is to require meeting password. It all depends on the student's needs and your preferences, all right? The host video and the host audio are adjusted here. If you want the meeting to start with the video on or off for the host and the participants too, you want the video to start by default or to make it off. And the audio devices that are going to be used, are you allowing telephones for this meeting or only computers? If you want to use both, you check both, which is also, again, the best option. Enable join before host to enable students to go to the meeting or the webinar before you join it. And I don't prefer this, in fact. Mute participants upon entry. It means that the microphones will be muted and they cannot unmute until you allow them to. Enable waiting room. This is used when more than one teacher are going to administer the meeting, so that they can join the meeting room, the waiting room first. They can talk to each other until the room is ready. The meeting is ready. They can start the meeting. So waiting room, you as a teacher allow people to join the waiting room. So everyone who's going to join the meeting, you allow specific people to join the waiting room so that you can discuss and decide when to start the meeting. Okay, only authenticated users can join. This will ask them to sign into their Zoom account, record the meeting automatically if you want Zoom to start recording automatically, which again is not preferred. You should record when you are ready to record, right? So here we have a question from Ms. Hiba Yusri. For us, we can make it only daily basis, 5 days a week. For the virtual learning, can we make a label for each meeting, a label? If you assign a label, it will be the same. If you assign one label, Ms. Hiba, it will remain the same every time. Unless you go to the Zoom account and edit the meeting and change the label, no problem, before the meeting. So before the meeting, if you edit the label on Zoom itself, it will change. It will look differently to the students. All right. So again, and quickly, this is about recording meeting. If you remove this, it will just remain like this. Registration required. It means that they have to use their emails and their Zoom accounts to enter. And the other things are the same. After you do this, you just click on save. Just click on save. Okay. This is the link that you can copy to invite students to, to enter. You just copy the invitation and send it to the students, emails, WhatsApp, whatever. And this is very important also, the Google Calendar and Outlook Calendar, Yahoo Calendar, so that they can remind you of the meeting before it starts, 30 minutes before. And at the end of the page here, as you see here, you can edit this meeting and you can start this meeting. If you want to add another teacher who is going to attend with you and who you would like him to be or her to be the host, you can add him or her here. Of course, if I start the meeting now, I'm sure that it will disconnect this meeting. So I will just send you a link to a video that you can just watch on your devices now. I will send it to the chat. Just click on it. And it will tell you about the different features and the different functions, the different tools and devices that you can use during the meeting.
Menu, which is very important. I mean, another icon or another button, which is Manage Participants. By clicking on Manage Participants, the list of participants will show on the right, including you, the hosts. So me refers to you as a host. You can mute or unmute yourself, and you can also rename yourself. And also the attendees, you can just unmute or mute any participant. And you can also click on more for more options. You can chat with this attendee, I mean. You can send something or ask him or her to do something. You can also ask this participant to start video. You can make this participant as a host, promote him or her. You can rename the participant, or you can remove the participant from the meeting. All right. if you want this list of participants to disappear, just click on Manage Participants again. The poll tool is to ask questions during the meeting and collect answers from the attendees or the participants, so that you have a poll or a survey about a certain question or a certain point that you want to discuss. And here is share screen, which is a very, very, very important feature, or tool, or maybe we can say a very important button that you can use during the meeting to share material or presentations with the audience of the meeting or the attendees of the lesson or the meeting. When you click on share screen, you just select the window that you want to share with the attendees and click on share to start sharing. And don't forget to share computer sound and optimize the screen for video clips if you are going to share a video clip. Let's say that I'm going to share this screen. I will click on share, and here is how the screen will look like during sharing. You can also still mute or unmute yourself. You can just adjust the audio or the video devices. You can start video, you can manage participants, you can poll, you can start a new share. If you wanted to change the screen that you are sharing, click on new share. If you want to pause the share for some time, click on pause share. If you want to stop this share so that another person can share the screen, you click on stop share. You can annotate or write or draw on the screen, and you can also remote control. And this is a very important link to different functions that you can do during the meeting. Okay, so this is how the screen looks during the screen sharing. You can just stop sharing to go back to the same screen, the main screen of the meeting. And here is the chat. Of course, you know the chat box or pod that is found on Zoom. You can type a message here and send it to everyone or to a certain attendee of the meeting. You can also share some, if you wanted to share some material, or you want to share a file, if you wanted to just share a link to something, you just type the link here. And send it to the attendees, to the participants of the meeting. Here it is active and everybody can access it. And this is another way of sharing material and sharing tasks or things that you want the attendees to do during the meeting. This was the chat box. And also you can make it disappear by clicking on it again. And the last thing is to record, and there are two options for recording. You can record on your computer, or you can record on the cloud, Zoom cloud. It all depends on your ability to wait for the video file to be uploaded to Zoom or to be saved on your computer, and the way that you're going to distribute or share the video later. So you choose one of them, choose record on this computer or record on the cloud or to the cloud. And during recording, you can pause the recording or you can stop it. So click on this to pause the recording, click on this to stop the recording, and if you want to save it, just click on yes. It will give you the ability to save the file or video file of the meeting and share it later with the attendees, or maybe with the the audience of the meeting. And the last thing is to end meeting. after you finish the meeting, you just click on end meeting, as we all know, and you end it for all. Okay, that was a very short video on how to run a Zoom meeting, and I hope that it was helpful and useful. Thank you so much, and see you inshallah in other.
Going to have a new share now. It's going to I'm going to this. All right. So now you can see my screen.
Yes.
All right. Okay. So by clicking on pause or resume share, you can avoid your screen from being exposed to everyone, especially when you want to move from slides or from windows. You can just pause, click on pause, and after that you click on use share or stop if you want to stop share. Quickly before we move to Google Classroom, let me see if you have any questions. All right. The background talking, is anyone talking in the background? You mean happened before with YouTube, you mean, Miss Amy? There was some repetition because I left my microphone working, so it repeated what it was running on YouTube. That's why I heard the voice. Okay. So Google Classroom, we will move to Google Classroom now. We are going to answer some questions too about Google Classroom, how to create a new class in Google Classroom, how to create an assignment and add a topic in Google Classroom, how to add students and guardians in Classroom, how to create a quiz in Classroom, and how to archive and also copy classes. Okay, so I will go to Google Classroom directly and do everything that you need to know, so that we can save some time and at the same time to see something being done. But first, you have to know how to access Classroom. Just to click on this apps. You see the icons called apps, or applications, I mean. Or the dots here next to your profile photo, and scroll down to find the Classroom and click on it. This is how you can access Google Classroom. It's very simple. In any browser where you have a Google account or Gmail, you will find them. Apps, it means applications, or you just click on the dots here, which is just a shortcut for apps, and click on Classroom. This is my Google Classroom account. Can you see it? Can you see it? Can you see classes, my classes? Is it clear? All right. So I have all the classes here. They are old ones, TW, GTQ, and virtual classes. And I want to just add a new one. You see this?
مستر محمود، في بوكس اسود مربع وفي بوكس مستطيل على الشاشه حقتك، يا ريت تقفلهم. ايوه. في واحد كمان بالعرض لونه اسود برضه.
لونه اسود. I mean, it's from this one. Is it moving?
It's black, but yes, it's up now. It's up now.
Yes, it's from yes, it's from Zoom itself. All right. Okay. Yes. The chat box of Zoom and the control panel of Zoom itself. All right. But classes are okay, are clear, Dr. Hala?
Yes, the classes now is good.
All right. Okay. So this is how to access Google Classroom. And when you go to Google Classroom, you'll find this plus icon. The plus icon is to create a new class on the Google Classroom, or also to access classes. If you want to join other classes, you just click on the plus. It will show you two options: to join class or to create class. So your students, when they want to join your class, they have to go to their Google Classroom account, and they have to click on this plus and just click on join class, and they have to type or enter the code that you provide them with. But for you, if you want to create a new class, you have to click on this, create class. This is where you create a new class as a teacher. So let's say that I'm here and I need to just add a new class. I just click on create class, and it will give you this screen. It's very important because if you are using classroom account at school, if your school is using a classroom account, a G Suite, the G Suite is, educational platform provided for free to schools and institutions so that they can add their students and their teachers too. So if your school is using Google Classroom account, you have to do this through that school itself. They have to provide you with an ID, Google Classroom ID, so that when you create new classes, you will be able to add parents and guardians. But if you use it outside the class, you will not be able to add parents or guardians. This is so important. If you are using the classroom, Google Classroom, in or under the account of your school, you'll be able to add parents and guardians to every student. But if you are using it outside the school, it's self-free and it has all privileges and features, but you will not be able to add a parent or a guardian to every student, all right? So I will just adapt my presentation to free accounts because in fact my school, they don't use Google Classroom. So I will just continue working on this. I will create a new school now, a new class. Just mention or create the class, let's say English or General English. Right, this is the name of the class itself. Let's say B1. All right, the level is the section is education. The subject is English or language and literature, for example. It's up to you to type everything or anything that you want relevant to your subject, and just click on create. Is it clear so far? Is it clear so far? You have any questions? All right. Okay, that's it. This is how it looks. I know that it looks in, this is the home page of the class itself, General English B1. It looks like this, and you have some menus: stream, classwork, people, and grades. So by default, it will be on stream. Stream is the place where you announce or make announcements and ask students to do something. Nina, you are confused. If you need to ask a question, please ask it. Okay, so streaming or stream is where you just interact or announce things to the students so that they know if they have an assignment, if they have to do something, you just post it here. So let's say, please do the assignment by the 30th of April, for example. You can post this immediately, or you can post this immediately, or you can just schedule it. if you don't want to post this announcement now, you can just schedule it to a specific date, and Google Classroom will post it on the date that you decide. So just you can just say, let's say that you want to post it on the 25th, so that the students know before the 30th, let's say something like this. So it will be now scheduled, as you see. It will be scheduled and it will be announced on the same day that you decided. You can also just add files to your announcements. Files can be Google Drive or link, or a file from your computer, or a YouTube link. So if you want to remind them of the assignment or homework, you can just attach it to the announcement. If they wanted to download it or something, if you wanted to post a calendar or a timetable, you can just add it as a file or a Google Drive. So with your announcement, you can attach some files, different files, whether they are a link or a Google Drive or a file from your computer, and just post it, all right? So you can just say, hello, welcome to my class, something like this, all right? And just post it. That's it, all right? So this was the stream menu. It means announcements, right? Let's move to the next menu, which is classwork. Classwork is the place where you create the material, the content of the class. So you just add units, all right? Worksheets, handouts, everything you can post, all right. So here, we said that it's English level 1, for example, or B1. So you can create units, you can create topic, let's say, not unit, topic. So the topic, it means section, a section in the class. Let's say this is unit 1, okay. I will create another topic, unit 2. Right? So I can only add topics. No, I can add topics, rename them, delete them, and move them up and down. All right. So as you see, unit 2 is here. Before unit 1, I want to move it down. Just to click on move down, it will go under unit 1. All right. And I can also create assignment. So the title is here. Write a paragraph, for example. About yourself. Let's say, all right. So this assignment, I can just add also a file, a link, file from your computer or a YouTube link, and you can just link it to one of the classes that you have. General English, the TWDTQ, virtual classes. So here is where you link the assignment to the class. Will it be apparent for all students or only 1 or 2 students? All students. Of course, I don't have students now, but if you have students, they will be listed here. So you can choose 1 student, only 2 students, differentiation, if you know differentiation. So you can assign some work to people and different from other people. You can do it here. You can do it here. Choose people that need to do this assignment. So it will be for general English, and it will be worth 100 points. The date, due date. So you have to choose the date. Let's say it will be on the 31st of March. The time is optional, right? The topic here stands for the section, the units. Like if you link it to a topic here, it will appear under it. But if I leave it like this and later I want to link it to the topic, I can just assign, and after it is created, I just drag and drop. Drag it and drop it in the place where it's assigned. So you can just link assignment to units or to sections or topics in two different ways. When you create them or after you create them, just drag and drop them under the unit that you want to link them. But you can also create material, not only assignments. You can create quizzes. You can create a question. You can create reuse a post. If you have another post in another class and you wanted to just reuse it, you can reuse it here. So create is the key to classwork. You can just create a question or a quiz, all right? And you can also add Google Forms, as you see blank Google Forms. Or you can add it from here. If you have a Google form on Google Drive, you can link it, or you have the link of the Google form, you can just click on link and add it to this assignment or quiz, YouTube. If you wanted the students to watch something, you just adjust it here, or just link it to the quiz. So create question, create material, create assignment or quiz. This is a very important menu, and this is where you provide the students with material that they can do, and also you can assist the students by posting assignments and the quizzes, and after that their work will go to grades. We'll go to grades later, all right? People is where you add students. So you have teachers, you can add teachers, or you can add students. So if you want to add a teacher, you just click on this, invite the teacher by typing the email, and send or click on invite. If you want to invite a student, you just click it here and type the email and click on invite. Just click on this icon and invite students and teachers to the classroom. All right. So if you want to add to see grades, and if we wanted to see grades, let me just take you to a different class, because this class has this doesn't have any material, and it doesn't have any questions and quizzes. Let's see this. For example, this is a classroom and it has some classwork posted. It has some people or students added. You see the students listed here. You can just click on one of the students and do some functions or actions. You can remove, you can email, you can mute. When you click on mute, it means that you deactivate this student. The student will be inactive, will not be able to access any of the classwork or do any of the assignments, right? And if you click on grades, you can see some grades of students here, the students and what they did and how much they scored, right? So this is also a link that is very useful and helpful for you to go. If you want to know how to grade, if you want to know how to grade, in grades itself, you click on the person, you click on this, and you can return, and you can also add the grade next to the student. So you can add the grade. Let's say this student is 80, is scored 80 out of 100. That's it. So this is his grade. This is students code 70. This is for manual grading, but for Google Forms and activities that are automatically graded, they will go automatically to this, and it will appear automatically in this column, the grades of the students. Remember that if you want to add guardians to the students, you have to do it through the school itself. The school must assign you a username and password on Google Classroom, so that every student that you add you will be able to add a guardian, or to add a parent next to it. This is how it looks if you want to add a guardian to or a parent to a student. It will appear next to the name of the student. So Eric Lawson, for example, if you want to invite guardian, you click on this. But again, only teachers who have free G Suite accounts from their schools can add guardians to students. If you see my class, you don't have this next to the name of the student. Why? Because I created it outside the school. I'm sure that even schools that don't have G Suite accounts, it's very easy for them to have. If you contact your school and ask them to have this account, it's free. Schools don't pay anything for it. So they don't have to pay anything. They can easily create their account, and after that they approve teachers because they receive emails from teachers who want to create Google Classrooms, and you will be able to add or invite guardians or invite parents to the students. So that was all for Google Classroom. If you have any questions, I will just look at the chat box. It will appear as a dark or a black box on the screen, so excuse me for this. A video about using Google Classroom. All right, let me just share material with you.
But the session is recorded already.
And the session is recorded anyway. And
yeah, yes, and we'll upload it on YouTube.
Yeah, it will be uploaded to YouTube. And if you want me to share the presentation with you here, just as I will send you a link to the presentation. Also, it will be typed under the YouTube video, inshallah. All right, it will be done via Dr. Hala. It will be posted. So, so all in all, let's quickly sum it up. What can we use Zoom for, and what can we use Google Classroom for? I can see your answers on the chat. All right. So Zoom, is it? I mean, Zoom. Can we use it to as a learning management system? Can I use it to record something? Zoom. I think we skipped something in Zoom that we need to get back and explain. Because after you finish the meeting, you want to know who attended the meeting. How can you do this? If you want to know, how can you know who attended the meeting, the Zoom meeting? You just go to Zoom and click on report. If you want to know who attended a certain meeting, you just mention the time here. Let's say that you want to see meetings from the 1st of January to the 31st of January. You search.
We can't see the Zoom screen.
You cannot see.
Mm.
All right, just a minute.
Yes, now, okay.
Okay. So you just go to this, and as you see, just decide the date, and usually it's for 1 month. It shows you month by month reports. So click on reports and click on search. It will show you all meetings that took place during this month. And let's say this is the number of participants, 224, 84. If I want to know who they are, I just click on the, you see this, the number of participants, click on it, and you can export it to, as you see, the names of attendees, they are here, so that you can check attendance. You can check the register of the class by just generating the report of the attendees, and you can export it to Excel. If you see the screen, it's downloading as an Excel file now. So you can just open the Excel file to know who attended the class. All right, okay. So I think that's all we need to explain about using Zoom as a presentation or maybe teaching learning tool, interaction tool between the teachers and the students, and also using Classroom as a learning management system. I hope that if you have any questions, please just ask it on Zoom, on the chat. Can you still see the books on the screen, Dr. Hala? Okay. Dr. Hala, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Mahmoud.
Okay. So I can't see any questions from the.
There's no questions.
All right.
Yeah, but
So
only one question: how can you share audio or video? Can you explain it again?
how can you share audio or video?
Or video? Yeah. Can you explain it again?
All right. So let's say if you wanted to run a video on the computer and you want to share it with the attendees, you just you need to do something here. Let's say if I'm going to run the YouTube video again. Can you see the video now?
Assalamu alaikum.
Can you see it now? No. All right. So just click on new share. I'm sharing something else now. So I just need to click on new share and decide the screen that I'm going to share. But don't forget to do something. If I share it now, you will not be able to hear anything. When you share a video or audio file, just make sure that you share the computer sound and you optimize screen sharing for video clip. Can you see this? Can you see it, Dr. Hala?
Yes, we can. Clear.
Okay, so share computer sound and optimize screen sharing for video clip. This time you will hear anything that runs on the computer, but to avoid echoing, just click on mute so that what is running on the computer is not repeated. Because if you leave the sound going on, your own sound or voice going on, it will repeat what is going on in the video. So just mute yourself while the video is running so that it doesn't cause any echo. Okay. If you want to contact me for any more questions or something, I just excuse Dr. Hala to type my my email.
Yes, please.
Right, you can find it now. You can find it in the chat, profmahmoudzaki@gmail.com. Just confirm that you have received the email, please. Okay, Dr. Hala.
Yes.
All right, any more questions, something that needs to be explained?
Please, if you have any questions. Everything is clear? The link, please, of the video or the recorded session. The recorded, not now, because it will take time, yes, to be uploaded. So when I finish it, inshallah, you will find it on YouTube, the same channel, Anab YouTube. There is a question, Mr. Mahmoud, how to stop the camera?
How to stop the camera of the participant, or your own camera. Okay, your own camera.
The participants.
Okay, from manage participants, you go to manage participants and you just go to the participant that you want to to stop the camera. Click on next to the name, you will find microphone and the camera. Just click on the camera if you want to stop it, to make it inactive. If you want to mute the participant, just click on the microphone to mute it. So again, from manage participants, you just go to participants or attendees. Next to everyone, you can allow to talk. You can also promote to panelists. Can you see this? Can you see my screen? Can you see the participant list?
Yes, yes, we can see.
All right, so you just allow people to talk, or you can also just promote to panelist here. It means that you make this participant as a panelist. A panelist, it means presenter, someone who is controlling or who can control the presentation itself, the panelist. Okay, so of course here in this meeting, this webinar, the video is already inactive because it's created like this. That's why I can't see here the icon for the video. But for the meeting, if you start a meeting and you allow the participants to run their videos or their cameras, you'll just find next to their, it will look like this. Next to their names, you will see a microphone and you will see a camera symbol. Just click on it to stop and start.
Yeah, so here, or you can mute all.
Or you can mute all or unmute. Yeah. Or you can also, you see here, as you see, you can do many things. Lock webinar, allow panelists to start video. All these functions, you can only know them when you start using them. So if I want to learn swimming, I have to go to the sea and swim. If you want to explore Zoom and the abilities and the features of Zoom, you have to start applying it. You have to start using it. Use it with your students, with your co-teachers. You can just create a meeting and invite your co-teachers to it and try to explore it. Explore how to mute and unmute people, how to start or stop their videos or cameras, blah, 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 by usage. As you know, practice makes perfect. So try to practice using Zoom. I'm sure it's much better than other applications that teachers use, such as a Telegram or WhatsApp or Facebook Messenger. At the end, it's very much better because it gives you the ability to share a screen, to share material, to interact, to record the meeting, and to share it with the students later. It's a very good application for teaching. And even the free account, you can just do with it. You can just, as I said, you can just divide the, if you have longer sessions, divide them into smaller sessions. Every session lasts for 40 minutes and the breaks between them. Then you can start the meeting again with the students. And if the students know how to access meetings, it will be faster and easier for them.
There is another question. I've created the classroom in Google, but still not sent to other teacher. May I know the reason?
So you created here a classroom and you invited, have you invited the teacher? Have you invited the teacher? Yes. Nina? So you invited the teacher, but the teacher hasn't received it. All right. Did you use a Google, a Gmail account to invite the teacher? Have you used a Gmail account? And you checked the email of the other teacher, but he hasn't received it. Okay, strange, because in fact, for me, when I use it, I just share it with other teachers. I just make sure that it's a Gmail account and they receive it. Just maybe it's in the drafts, or maybe, I'm sorry, the spam or something like this, but I don't think so, because you know Gmail and Google Classrooms is harmonious. I mean, they work together fantastically. So if you use a Gmail account, just try to refresh the Gmail. Maybe I have to check this and get back to me, contact me on the email that I typed in the chat box to check if it's still a problem or no. All right, maybe you typed a wrong email, just to check the spelling of the email.
There's another question. How can I keep the chat box or the whiteboard appear while PowerPoint is running?
So sharing, when you share the whole screen. Share the whole screen so that as you see now, you mean you want the participants to see the chat box. You want the participants themselves to see the chat box. Can you see the chat box now? Can you see it on the screen now? Okay, because this is a webinar. If you wanted to do this, you have to do it through a webinar, not a meeting. The meeting, no, you're not allowed to show the chat box. If it's a meeting, you cannot see it. As Dr. Hala said, a webinar shows everything going on the screen. That's why I thought it was a meeting, and I handled it as a meeting in the beginning, but I discovered that it was a webinar. That's why you saw some of my settings. Webinar.
Yes. Another question. Could you say how can you stop the camera of all the participants so they can't open it by themselves?
All right. So
In a
if
meeting,
you,
Mr. Mahmoud, in a meeting,
yeah,
it's
it's
impossible, I
impossible.
think.
Impossible.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm. In a
But in
meeting,
a
it's
webinar,
impossible.
it's yeah, we can.
We can when we create a webinar. So let me go to zoom.us again quickly and show you when you go to zoom.us, because we learned how to create a meeting, but not a webinar. In a webinar, you can create webinars, see? Oh yeah, unfortunately mine ran out. So I cannot even create webinars. All right, if you create a webinar, it gives you an option to stop or to just to stop the video or the camera. They cannot, and even the microphones. All participants cannot unmute themselves. They cannot if you create a webinar, but the webinar, of course, is a paid account. So you have to pay for this, right? It's not much, but you can do with the free account. The meeting is okay, but just make sure that you tell the students not to unmute themselves or to run the cameras. It's still better than other options. In the meeting, it's impossible for you to control the cameras and the microphones of the participants, because
The microphone, maybe, yani, you can control it, but the camera, no.
Yeah.
From my experience.
Yeah. Even if you create a meeting and you turn off cameras and microphones, they can turn them on again during the meeting. So the only way is self-awareness, is to let the students the ability to know that they are in a meeting and there is privacy. They have to respect the meeting.
And also keep muting them all. Keep muting them all. Yes.
So from manage participants, you make sure that you mute all. You mute all. You see this? Mute all. Only unmute people that you want them to participate. All right. Other questions about Zoom? Yes, even if you mute all, after that, other people can unmute themselves in a meeting.
Mute all again.
Mute all again.
Yes, all the time.
But I think it's with the cameras only, Dr. Hala. With
the camera is a problem, yes, in the meeting. I know that.
Microphones are a little bit more.
Microphone is good, yeah, you can mute, but they still can unmute themselves. But you can unmute all again.
And also the chat box, especially when you teach adults, it's very useful, by the way. I usually copy everything in the chat and send it or share it on WhatsApp, because sometimes there are very important questions and we raise discussions and try to memorize or remember what we have discussed, especially with adult classes.
Yeah. But when you or the teacher see the question and answer it, so no need for the chat. خلاص, you will take the question and say it and answer it. So good in the
I use it
recording.
as discussion. Yes, as discussion.
Yes, as discussion.
All right. So any more questions concerning Google Classrooms? In this one, a winner or meeting, webinar.
Webinar, yeah.
The difference.
This is a webinar.
This is webinar because Dr. Hala created it. But I have a free account, so I cannot create a webinar. I do with meetings. It's good, wonderful, no problem at all. And I mean, sometimes it can last for more than 40 minutes, by the way, but this is the standard. I mean, they allow 40 minutes maximum for the free users.
And I think the 40 minutes is enough because it's the standard period for students,
Yeah.
even in the schools.
Yeah, after 40 minutes, they have to have a break. They can come
and
back.
reconnect again, yes.
Reconnect again. Classroom, Google Classroom. Do you have any questions? What do you think of it? Have you used Google Classroom before? I mean, have you decided to try to use it? And only Naina? No one else has decided to start using Classroom. It's similar to, if you know Moodle, it's similar to it, but it's I mean, it's free and it's very easy to access. It only needs a Gmail account or I mean a Google Classroom account. Rashmi, have you used Google Classroom before? Okay, similar to Moodle, but I mean, it includes other options too. All right. Okay. If you use Mr. Smith, if you use it in the class itself, the school itself, I mean, it's wonderful because it allows you to add a parent or a guardian to every student, and they will be notified of I mean, the progress of the students, the participation. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. It's a good way of providing online support. Remember that we are discussing possibilities that for providing online support to students, especially in such tough times that we are passing now. Okay. I really advise you to use Google Classroom. It's wonderful. Right, Dr. Hala, you have anything to add?
No, thank you.
Gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, do you have any other questions or anything to add?
Should we end the meeting now, please? If you don't have any questions?
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
I see that's
Thanks
okay.
a lot. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much. Thank you for
Thank you.
giving me the chance to be with them. And thank you so much, Dr. Ha. I hope that we can meet again, inshallah.
Naina, one thing, okay?
Okay, Naina, we're waiting for you. Two things, no problem.
Yeah, no problem. We are here for you.
Yeah, we're willing to help. And we are sharing experience, but at the end.
Do we have discussion forum in Google Classroom?
Yeah, it's the streaming.
The stream.
Yeah, the stream. And yes, that's a good question, by the way. Because you can adjust, see this icon on the screen, the setting icon is, you have general setting, you have general setting for grading, you have also a setting for stream. So make sure that you allow students to comment and post. So students can post and comment. Students can only comment, or only teachers can post or comment. So if you want it to be like a discussion forum, just allow students to to comment on other posts and also to post things that they want to post. If you want it to be very or more controlled, just allow only teachers to post or comment on the posts of the other teachers or the assignments and so on. So just make sure that this is checked. Students can post and comment. All right. So how can you access this? It's in the class. This.
And the other question is, how can I add PPT while teaching?
Well, you mean on Zoom?
Yes, it's on Zoom, Naina, not on Google Classroom.
You can also upload a file to Google Classroom if you would like to.
Yeah.
Are you asking about Google?
Yeah, Google.
On Google, yes, that's it. You go to classwork. You can add here, create a unit, create material. The material will give you ability to go to file, upload a file from your computer. Here it is. So you can just go to a file and upload it.
Yes. That she's talking about live.
Live, you mean live teaching on Google?
No. Oh, yeah. I think.
For live teaching, we use Zoom. Zoom. Okay, so but for material that they can access later and learn from them, you just use Google Classroom. All right, upload it and tell them to access the material, upload the assignment, blah blah blah. That's it.
Clear now?
Okay. All right. Any more questions? Dinah, give it a second thought. All right.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Dr. Hala. It was
Thank you
really
all.
happy to be with you, and I hope that we can meet again, inshallah.
Inshallah. Okay. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Goodbye.